Hello guys, Sophia Kiwi here. Welcome to today's video and to my channel. I want to start off with thanking all of you for your support, commenting, liking, subscribing, watching my content. I appreciate it so much. Today's topic is emotional swings. We are going to talk about what that is, why it happens, and basically what you can do to avoid people or a partner with emotional swings before you get into this relationship with someone that is manipulative. So let's start from the beginning. What are emotional swings? An emotional swing is a manipulative technique in which a person constantly changes their behavior. Periods of warmth and care and tenderness are inevitably followed by coldness and sometimes even cruelty. These periods can be short. The behavior of the manipulator literally changes few times a day, or they can last for weeks because the victim doesn't know what to expect. In such conditions, you will constantly experience vivid emotions, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Because of this, you lose the ability to make informed decisions and become more attached to your manipulator. Usually, people with narcissistic personality disorder resort to this technique. They don't always act consciously. They just consider this type of relationship to be norm. It's the norm for them. The victims are often hypersensitive people who have a strong ability to empathize, are receptive to criticism, and are prone to make more acute reactions or to give more acute reactions, like direct. In addition, emotional swings affect the dopamine system. Dopamine is produced much more actively if a person receives a reward at a predictable moment rather than regularly and on schedule. This is called intermittent reinforcement, and it can quickly form a pattern of behavior. So it basically means you never know what to expect and when. Terrible. So now that we know what emotional swings are, why does it happen? It's all about our brain. Sometimes it works against us. For an example, a traumatic event, both the sudden onset of coldness from a partner and the fear of punishment for breaking the rules, can negatively affect the normal functioning of the amygdala, prefrontal cortex, and hippocampus. If these areas are also responsible for experiencing emotions, self-control, impulsivity, and the decision-making process. Also, as a result of the injury, the connection between the hemispheres of the brain is disrupted and the activity of the left hemisphere slows down, which affects the ability to solve problems, think, and make decisions. So why is it dangerous then to have a partner with emotional swings? Because there are a few other reasons except or aside from the emotional swings themselves. The first reason for why it's dangerous to have a partner like this is the partner becomes unreliable. I guess you have figured it out yet already, but I need to kind of empathize that. Our relationship with a partner who practices emotional swings can be bright, but you can't call it functional. In a couple where one partner is having emotional swings, the power will always be on the manipulator's side. And the victim will have to constantly obey. Otherwise, the victim risks being left without emotional nourishment. It can be very difficult to leave such a relationship, especially if you have been in it for a long time. Now, the second reason for why it's dangerous to have a partner with emotional swings, the self-esteem will suffer. Your self-esteem. A person whose partner constantly changes and goes from anger to mercy may unwittingly look for the reason for this behavior in themselves and not in the manipulator. So you will start looking for the reason to this behavior in yourself, what you are doing. The victim begins to replay certain moments in their head. For example, you were on a recent date after which your partner unexpectedly disappeared. You will now start to find a dozen of reasons for why they did this, why this behavior. Everything from a bad hairstyle to an awkward joke will be the reason, or you will think that is the reason for this. Now, the third reason for why it's bad or dangerous to have a partner like this that has emotional swings is you become overly agreeable and easy to affect. After experiencing the emotional swing, the victim falls into a state of unconsciousness. In these moments, people lose the ability to make informed decisions and become more accommodating. A person who has experienced a series of opposite emotions is easier to proceed to do something, even if it's disadvantageous for us. For example, the technique of emotional swings is used by all types of scammers. Let's give an example of telephone scammers, right? First, they scare the victim. Right away, they are going to steal all of your money, for example. But then the scammer introduced themselves as a security officer, right? So they will promise to give you tell you how you can return your money, basically. They will give you the solution, what you should do. Maybe you should transfer your money to some other account or a specific account that they give you. So you immediately receive positive emotions, relief, and hope. And you are ready to transfer the money anywhere, right? Because first you went from shock and you were so scared to lose all of your savings, but now, oh, this is amazing, great, you can still save them, when in fact you can't, and you just can't think right. Nothing was happening, but they are in the process of trying to steal your money, basically, right? But you can't notice it because you are in this happiness, thinking that, okay, things will be good. Now, what should you do? Guys, what do you do with this? Obviously, if you are familiar with emotional swings, you could be dealing with a manipulative partner or someone that you are communicating with. You should learn to recognize manipulators. This is the biggest tip I can give you guys. It's easier to avoid a relationship with a partner like this than to get into one and actually get out of it later. At an early stage, a potential manipulator could be identified by several signs, and here they are. The first one, the person sweeps you off your feet in the beginning of the relationship. Guys, this is such an alarm bell, but we often want to believe in this fairy tale. Once it starts, we want to believe it. Of course, even if we are familiar with this, but we try to avoid thinking about it. But let's get back. You barely know each other, right? And the person is already giving you gifts and confessing their undying love for you. Maybe they are amazing. Could be. Or maybe they are a manipulator that is just trying to emotionally tie you to them. This behavior has a name. Love bombing. I'm sure anyone out there who has ever encountered a narcissist or has a narcissistic partner, friend, parent, anyone narcissistic, mostly a partner in this case, of course, because the love bombing. You will know this phase, love bombing, when you just get all of the admiration and love of the world in the beginning and it just overwhelms you. It comes at you like a tsunami. And it has actually terrible consequences. So now the second sign that you are dealing with a manipulator is the partner creates their own patterns of behavior to later dramatically change them. Okay? Exchanging gifts every month on the day that you met. Going to a new restaurant on every Friday, and the obligatory good night text in the evening or at night. First, your partner creates these rituals, maintains them, but then later in the relationship instantly stops them for no reason. And this leaves you very confused with what is actually happening. Now, the third sign you are dealing with a manipulator is that your partner allows themselves to ignore you. Silence can be compared to a physical punch. When you are being ignored, it activates the anterior cingulate cortex, the part of the brain that is responsible for experiencing physical pain. Now, this is usually the case when the relationship is more serious and have been going on for longer. The point here is that it's not actually like a physical punch, like, it's very close to it. You feel so worried when you are met with silence. I think we all are familiar with this feeling. The fourth and final sign that you are dealing with a manipulator. Instead of specific plans, there are promises and hints. Guys, I'm sure you also have been in the situation where your partner may talk about great ideas like going on vacation together, looking for a house to move into, get married, and it sounds great. It sounds great, but as soon as it comes to something specific, booking tickets, looking for actual houses, or planning the wedding, when and where, it turns out your partner isn't ready. So guys, this was it for today. I hope you will find this specific topic interesting and maybe it could help you. I hope so. I hope you will comment, like, and subscribe because I love to see your reactions and your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.